This February, Prime Video is dropping some incredible movies, and I've handpicked the 10 best ones just for you. And because I know you've probably seen half the internet ranting about every movie under the sun, I cherry-picked the top 10 that are actually worth your time. And trust me, there are a couple in here that might just make you go, wow, I didn't see that coming. So, whether you're here to find the perfect movie to wind down, or maybe you're just trying to impress your date with your impeccable choice of film, I've got you covered. First up, we're launching into the orbit with life on February 1st. Remember this one? It's the intense space thriller where a bunch of scientists on the International Space Station discover the first evidence of extraterrestrial life on Mars. Cool, right? Wrong. Because this isn't your friendly neighborhood Martian. It's more like the guest from hell that decides to crash your space party. The crew, including Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, is all trying to survive this space horror. The tension in this movie is thicker than the plot of a daytime soap opera, and let me tell you, it makes you think twice about wanting to discover alien life. It's like a cosmic horror show that makes you appreciate the good old Earth a bit more. Next, we've got Upgraded, set to drop on February 9th, 2024. Here Camila Mendes plays Anna, an ambitious intern whose life takes a dramatic turn on a work trip when she gets an upgrade to first class. There she meets William, a businessman whose charm is as mysterious as his past. To smooth things over, she tells a tiny lie that blows up into a whole new life when she ends up pretending to be her boss. It's hilarious how one little white lie can spiral into a rom-com level disaster. I mean, if I got bumped up to first class, I'd probably just brag about it to my friends, not pretend to be someone else. But hey, that's where all the fun begins, right? Imagine being in her shoes, sipping champagne, and then bam, your lie catches up with you. Classic. On a lighter note, February 1st also brings us Ride Along. It's got Kevin Hart and Ice Cube, a match made in comedy heaven. They're like the peanut butter and jelly of buddy cop movies. I mean, Kevin Hart is doing his usual, making a mess, trying to prove he's tough. And Ice Cube? Man, he's just not having any of it. It's the perfect pick if your brain's too fried for anything serious, but you're craving some action, laughs, and, okay, a bit of a predictable plot. But who cares? It's fun. Mark your calendars for February 16th, because Prime Video is dropping a bombshell with This Is Me Now, a love story. Picture this, Jennifer Lopez, not just as the star, but as the heart and soul of a film that's part reality, part myth, and all J-Lo. It's like stepping into her diary, but with way better production value and an ensemble cast that reads like a who's who of entertainment. Fat Joe, Trevor Noah, and, wait for it, Ben Affleck? Yeah, it's that personal and that star-studded. It's an odyssey, complete with fantastical elements that'd make any high-budget fantasy saga take notes. Coming up next, we have Riddick. This is the one where Vin Diesel is basically Space Rambo with night vision eyes. It's like, 1 minute he's in stealth mode in the dark, and next thing you know, he's fighting off alien predators. It makes you wonder, if you were stranded on a desolate planet, could you even survive a day? I mean, I can barely handle camping without Wi-Fi. Anyway, Riddick's just there, trying not to get eaten, which honestly feels like a Monday to me. And it's not just any planet, it's like the universe took all the deadliest creatures and dumped them there as a sick joke. Watching it again, you've got to admire how Riddick sets traps, like he's setting up a surprise party. Except the surprise is a lethal smackdown. Next up on February 1st, we're revisiting a powerful documentary, I Am Not Your Negro. Now this isn't your typical Friday night popcorn flick. It's basically James Baldwin's unfinished book coming to life, narrated by Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, Nick Fury himself is telling us about the racial issues in America with rich historical footage. It's like traveling back in time and seeing the civil rights movement through his eyes. You know that documentary that slaps you with reality harder than your mom when you said you'd move out at 18 but never did? If you haven't seen this one yet, it's a must-watch. Switch gears to Young Adult, where Charlize Theron plays this writer of teen literature who's, well, kinda stuck in her high school glory days. It's like watching a train wreck you can't look away from because it's your train, and you're somehow both the conductor and the first passenger. She heads back to her hometown with this plan to win back her high school sweetheart, and it's cringy, hilarious, and a bit too real all at once. It's the kind of movie you watch and think, am I supposed to be laughing, crying, or calling my therapist? And then, on February 21st, get ready to shell out some laughs and gasps with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Now this isn't just any reboot, it's like the Turtles got a whole new lease on life. They're teenagers, they're mutants, they're ninjas, and they're turtles. What's not to love? This movie brings back all those childhood memories of watching the cartoons, but with way better graphics and a soundtrack that slaps harder than a nunchuck. The turtles are trying to make it big in New York, fighting crime and eating pizza, and honestly, it's a vibe. The action's nonstop, the jokes are fresher than a hot slice, and it's just a blast from start to finish. Speaking of classics, on February 1st, we have Get Out, that needs no introduction, but I'll give it one anyway because if you haven't seen this one yet, where have you been? It's like this movie didn't just come out, it stormed out, kicking doors and taking names. Jordan Peele turned the horror genre on its head with this masterpiece. It's not just a scare fest, it's a brain twist wrapped in social commentary, with a side of did that really just happen? I mean, the whole concept of the sunken place is genius, and that eerie teacup sound still gives me the shivers. And then, finally, there's the Prime exclusive Mr. and Mrs. Smith premiering on the 2nd. Remember the original with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie? Well, Donald Glover and Maya Erskine are stepping into those not-so-easy-to-fill shoes. This version features them playing the iconic duo, but with a twist that's got me all kinds of intrigued. They're spies pretending to be a married couple, and let's just say their on-screen chemistry, it's something to watch out for. Directed by Hiro Murai, who's worked with Glover before, I'm expecting this to be packed with action, laughs, and maybe a bit of that existential dread Glover's so good at. And that wraps up our look at the incredible array of movies coming to Prime Video this February. For future videos, please subscribe to our channel, WatchSandy. Until then, goodbye.